There comes a point in almost every man's life when he feels lost, irritated, and uncertain, not because a woman does not care, but because she is showing it in a language he was never taught how to understand. Women almost never openly admit when they miss you. They rarely say it clearly and almost never show it in the loud, obvious ways most men expect. Instead, they communicate their feelings through quiet psychological signs that are easy to miss. And here is the hard truth. She could be missing you deeply, but if you do not know how to read the silent signs, you will never realize it. Women do not reveal their soft side easily. When she misses you, she does not always message first, call you, or openly confess her feelings. Pride, fear, doubt, and emotional self-protection all influence her behavior. But even when she tries to hide what she feels, she cannot hide the small changes that happen underneath. These changes are subtle, calm, and often misunderstood, but they carry more emotional honesty than anything she could say out loud. What this message reveals is that the signals she sends when she misses you are not dramatic or obvious. They appear as small shifts in her energy, her timing, her interest, and her emotional presence. These signs show up when your absence affects her more than she expected, when your silence feels heavier than she thought it would, when she suddenly realizes that the version of you she once took for granted is now the version she quietly longs for. Every woman is different emotionally, but the psychology behind missing someone is the same for everyone. When a woman feels herself being pulled back toward a man, even if she tries to resist it, her body language changes, her focus changes, and her emotional rhythm changes. It is like your absence becomes a quiet force pulling her toward you, causing her to behave differently even when she does not plan to. Many men misunderstand these signs. They assume she is just bored, confused, or simply being polite. They tell themselves it means nothing. But those small, nearly invisible actions are actually a doorway into her emotional world. And if you fail to notice them, you miss the truth that she is feeling something she does not want to say directly. There is a strange irony here. The signs she sends when she misses you are silent, yet that silence speaks loudly. Loud in the way she watches you from afar, loud in the way she reacts to your absence, loud in the way she quietly tests whether you will respond, loud in the way she tries to feel connected without admitting she wants connection. A woman's heart rarely speaks first, but her actions always reveal themselves sooner or later. In this message, you are going to understand three quiet signals that most men never notice. The signals she shows when your absence begins to matter to her, when her mind starts replaying moments, when her imagination fills the space you once held. And once you understand these signs, you will stop misreading her behavior. You will look past the surface and see the emotional truth she is trying to keep hidden. Because when she misses you, she will not say it with words. She will say it through behavior. And if you are not paying attention, you will miss the moment when she actually wants you back. Before continuing, remember one thing. Real change does not happen from watching videos alone. It happens when you surround yourself with the right environment. If this content has shifted your perspective, what exists inside the community will reshape your mindset completely. It is not just a program, it is a brotherhood, a private space where men learn attraction, emotional control, and the psychology of strength. You do not join for a short time, you join for life. Every future lesson, course, and resource is yours forever. No monthly fees, no limits, just one choice that changes your direction. If you are serious about growth, discipline, and purpose, take that step. Now, let's move forward. The most common signal a woman shows when she misses you is a change in how she gives attention. Not loud attention, not clear interest, not a direct message, but small, barely noticeable actions that reveal emotional reconnection. Women almost never announce that they miss someone. Instead, their feelings slip out through tiny behaviors when they are trying to stay composed. These actions hold more emotional honesty than a confession because they are unplanned. They come naturally. They come from curiosity, longing, and unfinished emotion. One of the earliest signs is when she begins to appear around your digital space again. She might not message you, but she views your stories more often. She reacts to posts she once ignored. She scrolls back to older content and quietly engages with it. You notice her name showing up again and again. This is not coincidence. It is the modern way of checking in without revealing intent. Women do not do this unless your absence has created an emotional gap inside them. If you share real life environments, she may also become more aware of you there. She notices when you enter a room. She watches your mood, your confidence, your energy. She seems to be near you without making it obvious. She does not approach you directly, but she places herself where you can notice her. She does not openly flirt, but she stays close enough for her presence to be felt. This kind of attention is never random. It is a silent pull. Another part of this signal is curiosity. A woman who misses you becomes interested in your life again, what you are doing, where you are going, who you are spending time with. She may ask mutual friends about you. She may react emotionally when she sees you becoming more focused, more calm, or more distant. Even if she tries to hide it, her behavior shifts. A woman's curiosity always increases when emotional attachment starts to return. This attention stays quiet because women guard their pride, especially when they feel exposed. She does not want to look needy. She does not want to risk rejection. She does not want to open a door she is unsure is safe. So she watches from a distance, hoping you will notice the small signs she leaves behind. The strongest part of this signal is that it is unconscious. She does not plan it. She does not think it through. It simply happens because her emotional focus is slowly moving back toward you. And here is the key truth. If a woman truly does not miss you, she has no curiosity about your life at all. Curiosity never appears without emotional pull. So when her attention quietly returns, when she watches without speaking, when she observes without approaching, it is not chance. It is her heart speaking in a way her pride will not allow out loud. Another quiet sign is when she creates gentle chances for you to reconnect. This is the sign most men completely miss because it looks harmless. It looks like coincidence or simple politeness, but it is not. When a woman starts missing you, she creates small, safe openings that allow you to step back in without forcing her to expose her feelings. These openings are soft invitations. They are quiet doors left slightly open. She might reply to an old story or post with something random, just to start a conversation without it looking emotional. She might send a simple reaction, a heart, a laugh, a small emoji, not because the content mattered, but because she wanted to remind you she exists. She may message you with a question she could easily answer herself. On the surface, these actions seem small. Emotionally, they mean a lot. They show she is trying to reconnect while still protecting her pride. Another way she creates openings is through neutral messages. She might say something simple like asking how you are or wishing you well. Many men read this as friendliness, but psychologically it runs deeper. Women do not reach out to people they feel nothing for. If she missed you enough to reach out at all, that message was intentional. It is a test. She wants to see if you are still open to her without risking rejection. Sometimes she avoids direct contact and uses her environment instead. She becomes more active when you are active. She posts things she knows you will see. quotes, images, memories that carry hidden meaning. She does not speak to you directly, but she speaks through timing. Women understand emotional timing very well. When she posts something right after you pull back, it is rarely accidental. If you share physical spaces, she may move closer without saying anything. She stands near your friends. She shows up where you usually are. She chooses spots where you are more likely to notice her, not because she wants confrontation, but because being near you gives her emotional comfort without vulnerability. These behaviors are not random. They are safe ways for her to feel close again while protecting her pride. She looks for reassurance without putting herself in a position where she could be rejected. Every small change in closeness is a doorway she quietly opens for you. The most powerful part of this signal is that she never directly asks you to walk through that doorway. She simply creates it and waits. She hopes you will notice it. She hopes you will understand the hint. She hopes you will respond in a way that makes her feel seen and understood without making her feel too exposed. These gentle openings are her way of reconnecting while still protecting her heart. And when you respond with calm, steady energy instead of rushing in with too much excitement, the emotional pull inside her grows even stronger. Because when a woman misses you, she almost never says it out loud. Instead, she creates quiet chances for you to come back into her emotional space and hopes you are aware enough to see them. The third silent signal appears when her emotional sensitivity toward you suddenly increases. This signal is one of the clearest, strongest, and hardest for her to hide, even from herself. When a woman truly starts missing you, her emotional reactions connected to you become much stronger. She feels your presence more deeply, even when you are not physically there. Small things affect her more than before. She becomes emotionally alert, almost overly aware, whenever something reminds her of you. This kind of sensitivity is not something she chooses. It happens automatically. It is the emotional echo that comes from missing someone who still matters. One of the earliest signs of this increased sensitivity is how differently she reacts to your silence. Before, she may not have cared if you took longer to reply, if you didn't reach out first, or if you seemed a little distant. Now, even a small delay feels heavier to her. She notices when you stop watching her stories, when you don't like her posts, or when you don't interact the way you used to. She might never mention it, but emotionally, she feels the shift. Her reactions become stronger than the situation itself deserves because she is not reacting to the situation. She is reacting to the fear of losing emotional connection. Another important sign is how sensitive she becomes to your attention. She feels it clearly when you acknowledge her, and she feels it even more when you don't. If you reply briefly and calmly, she reads into it. If your replies feel different than before, slower, cooler, or more controlled, she notices immediately. She becomes highly aware of your tone, your timing, and your overall energy. This heightened awareness happens because she is emotionally reconnecting, even if her pride tells her not to. A woman only analyzes a man this deeply when he matters to her. This sensitivity also shows in how she reacts to other people around you. If she sees you interacting with someone else, even casually, it hurts more than she expected. She may feel protective, jealous, or quietly irritated. Even if she hides it behind humor, indifference, or sarcasm, the idea of another woman receiving the version of you she now misses creates an emotional shift she cannot fully control. She may not express it openly, but the discomfort shows up through small changes in her behavior, such as posting more often, pulling back slightly, or suddenly trying to look more attractive online. Her emotional sensitivity also appears through memory. She starts thinking about moments you shared, conversations you had, and interactions she once ignored. Nostalgia slowly takes over. She remembers your presence, your energy, and the way you made her feel. When a woman misses you, her mind connects present emotions with past experiences. This connection makes the feeling of missing you even stronger. She may bring up old memories indirectly or post something that hints at the past without naming you. This is not random, it is emotional leakage. The most undeniable sign of emotional sensitivity is vulnerability. Small cracks begin to appear in the emotional mask she tries to keep in place. She may reach out a little more than before. She may act cold one moment and surprisingly warm the next. She may send mixed signals, not because she is playing games, but because she is torn between missing you and protecting herself from being hurt again. This emotional back and forth is the clearest sign of all. When a woman misses you, she becomes sensitive to everything connected to you: your silence, your presence, your distance, your growth, and your energy. This is the signal she cannot hide, the signal she cannot control, and the signal that shows she is still emotionally invested. Women rarely communicate missing someone directly with words. Most men expect honesty to be obvious. If she misses you, she should say it. If she wants you back, she should admit it. If she feels your absence, she should express it clearly. But women usually do not work this way, not because they are trying to manipulate, but because their emotional world is built around vulnerability, protection, and timing. When a woman misses you, she almost never announces it openly. She expresses it quietly and indirectly because missing someone exposes her heart, and exposure threatens the emotional safety she works hard to protect. Women communicate emotionally through actions, not statements. The truth shows itself in behavior long before it appears in words. To a woman, saying, "I miss you," is not a simple sentence. It is a risk. It means admitting she still cares. It means lowering her emotional guard. It means opening herself to rejection, disappointment, or imbalance. That risk feels too heavy when she does not know where you stand or whether the connection is safe to reopen. Silence allows her to express longing without fully exposing herself. One strong reason women rely on silent signals is emotional pride. Women have pride just like men, but it works differently. A woman may want you deeply, but her pride will stop her from reaching out first unless she feels confident you will respond well. Pride protects her vulnerability. Pride keeps her from appearing weak. Pride prevents her from placing her emotions in your hands unless she feels emotional stability from you. This is why her silent signals matter more than anything she could say out loud. They reveal the truth beneath her defenses. Another reason is uncertainty. When a woman misses you but is unsure if you miss her too, she feels emotional tension. Her feelings pull her forward while her fear pulls her back. She does not want to chase someone who may already be gone. She does not want to open a door only to find you have moved on. So instead of speaking directly, she watches, tests, and observes. She sends small signals to see if the emotional connection still exists. This is not manipulation. It is emotional self-protection. Women also communicate through silence because they value emotional balance. They want to feel chosen, wanted, and valued. When she sends silent signals, she is inviting you to respond with emotional maturity. She wants to see if you can stay calm and grounded instead